Morning and welcome to O'Neill's on the Run Life in a Bus. It is season 3, episode 5, and we are currently at Maitland Showgrounds in podcast time. And we're heading over to Stockton Beach, which is one of our favourite spots.
Yeah, great spot. Easy run over from Maitland into Stockton. Nothing too stressful in the bus.
No,
Indeed, down Industrial Drive, over the bridge, out to Stockton, you're there.
that's it. It is a little bit of a tight squeeze coming in through their boom gate system with the bus.
Oh, it's not too bad because they just pull the pole out.
Yeah, they pull bollard out for us now, which is good. But the turn after the boom gate is a bit tight there. We've been 3 times.
Yeah.
3 times to Stockton now.
And it's pretty good. I just go back out the way I go in.
Yeah.
Because the first time I went through the permanents and it was really tight.
Yeah, we nearly took out some permanents, so we go sort of against the arrows to get out. But that's it. So Stockton Beach, NRMA Caravan Park is where we stay. I think it's site 153. We have this every time we talk about it on the podcast. We can't remember the site. It's on the corner closest to the break walls, our favourite site there, and it's just the right size for us.
Yeah, if you can get on it.
If you can get on it, it's really popular.
Anything on that back side near the unpowered is reasonable size anyway.
Yeah. And while we're at Stockton, we stayed for 3 weeks this time. We love going for walks around Stockton, out on the break wall and into town, along watch the boats in the evening.
Yeah, plenty of spots. It's amazing how huge the ships are when you're just walking along the shoreline there. They're huge. You don't realise they're that big when you see them coming in, do you?
Yeah, no, it's one of our favourite things to do there is sort of walk along the foreshore in the afternoon and maybe get a schooner from, the Duke of Washington? Is that what that pub's called?
No, it's the Washington, isn't it?
The Washington.
I think it is.
And watch the big boats come in, or maybe a pizza.
Yeah. It's a fantastic spot. 5 minutes on the ferry. Walk down, or you walk from the beach, walk from the caravan park, probably take 10 minutes.
Yeah, to the
ferry, straight across, couple of bucks. You can take your push bike and you're in the guts of Newcastle.
Yeah, so we often take the bikes across or just catch the ferry across and walk up to like Nobby's or around Newcastle City itself.
Yeah.
Do whatever's, come back.
It's a great spot. You can walk right along the walk there up the top. I can't remember the name of it, up onto the point.
Bars Beach?
Yeah, well, Bar Beach is the next one, I think.
And Nobby's Beach and Bars Beach.
Yeah. It'd be different now. All the baths and that are finished.
Yeah, the baths were just being finished off when we were there last, so it'd be nice. We'll have to go back next summer and check them out again. Yeah,
that's the worst thing about Newcastle is the caravan parks.
Yeah, there's none. No, nothing.
That's that one. I think, is there any on the other end of it? I can't remember.
Not until you get down to like Blacksmith Beach and Redhead, I think there's a couple.
Yeah, and Lake Macquarie.
And a couple around Lake Macquarie. So as we said last episode, we generally, while we're there for the summer for cricket, we do the bounce between Maitland Showground and Cessnock Showground because they are the ones that we can do sort of 3 and 2 weeks at, so we're not having to shift all the time. It's fairly affordable.
Yeah. Well, Stockton's 60-something a night, isn't it?
Yeah, off-peak up until December.
And then 90-something.
A night, which, I mean, not going to knock it. It's on the beach. It's a beautiful spot. It's a lovely park. The staff there are great. But it's too expensive to maintain for a 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
As much as we'd love to, it's just not feasible to stay there that long. And then especially they come into summer and they become no dogs over the summer holiday period.
Yeah, but you've only got to go around Stockton there, and a lot of the the parks around, like at the boat ramps and that, have got caravans in them that they're permanent.
Yeah.
Or you go to the dog beach on the other side of the river, and it is just chock-a-block of people free camping there.
Yeah, there's quite a bit happening around there, and I think mainly because there's not a lot of caravanning options, really.
Something the city of Newcastle think's got to look at.
I think so.
Even using their showgrounds in Newcastle.
Yeah, well, there's space that could be utilised.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're missing out. The public transport says great. We jump on the light rail or the train.
Yeah, we get the ferry across the light rail onto the train, and I was at the uni in about 40 minutes, I reckon.
Yeah, from Stockton, so that's a good thing. And when we're in Stockton, we get coffee from Autumn Room Cafe.
Yeah, good coffee.
Tom walks down, gets coffee there every morning when we stay in
I
Stockton.
think they had good toasted sandwiches too, don't they?
Yeah, like Turkish bread ones, I think.
Yeah.
From memory. God knows we love our food and our coffee, so we seem to find that everywhere we go.
Yeah.
After our 3 weeks at Stockton, which were beautiful, the weather there was good. I had frozen marg from Lexi's.
Yeah.
Or a couple of frozen margs from Lexi's, I think. Lexi's on the beach cafe there's good.
And all the beach has been fixed up. There's an actual beach there now.
Yeah, good job, Stockton Save the Beach Committee, because the beach is back and it was fabulous. Last time we were there, the beach had all eroded and gone away, so it was excellent to actually have a beach there.
Yeah.
Doing some yoga down there most mornings, went for a paddleboard, done a bit of fishing.
Yeah.
All the good things.
Yeah. I don't think I was there, but you were there when they were moving the cabins. The old cabins out.
Yeah, they actually were moving some cabins past the bus, and on our Facebook and social media, you'll see there's a video where they snegged the cabins past the front of our bus, and there was an inch between the cabin veranda and our bull bar, and I was just filming it. It was so close, but the hats off to those truck drivers because they just like snegged it past without damaging us, which was awesome.
Yeah, if you're truck driving, if you don't look behind, you never know.
That's right. Says Tom, who drives trucks. So after our beautiful 3 weeks at Stockton, this was coming up to Christmas holidays, so we had to vacate because we've got the Mumbles, the Blue Heeler, and the price went up. So we went back to Maitland Showgrounds for a week.
Yep, washed the salt off the bus. It was absolutely covered in it.
It's amazing how much salt spray builds up on the cars and the bus and everything. So we wash it off when we come back from the coast, or we try to.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in amongst this time, we bought a jet ski.
We bought 2 jet skis.
2 jet skis, sorry.
All Ali wanted for Christmas was to do, for her birthday, was to go for a ride on a jet ski. And we couldn't find any really good tours or day hires or anything, even though we've all got our jet ski licenses and things. So we decided we'd just buy a jet ski.
Yeah.
The first one, we went for like a 5-minute run, and it carked it in the Stockton River.
Yeah.
And I thought I was going to row back or get eaten by a great white.
The coils went in it.
So we eventually limped it back to the boat ramp, loaded it up, and the guy gave us our money back on that.
Yeah.
So then we bought another jet ski.
Yep, Sea-Doo one.
A Sea-Doo one.
First one was Kawasaki.
And it went great. We had a couple of days down in the Stockton River where we played around with
Went great, scary.
It was scary fast. It like done at 130 kilometres an hour.
Oh, I got it at 110.
Yeah.
Bit over 110.
It was scary fast jet ski. Tom loved it. I just putted on it. And that was a good start while we're at Stockton. It went well.
Yeah. We might as well keep going now. We're talking about it.
We went back to Tamworth for Christmas to see our family. So we went Stockton, we went Maitland for a week, and then we went back to Tamworth for Christmas, and caught up with all our family and friends there. And we thought we'd take the jet ski out to Chaffey Dam.
Yeah.
We had one good day.
Yep.
We had a good morning.
Yep.
And then it went kaput.
Yeah, I think the oil cooler was pumping oil into the coolant.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah,
it was bad.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I was telling my brother-in-law on it, and we had 3 on the jet ski, and he was on the back, and we doing over 100.
Yeah.
Over 100.
He was getting airborne.
Yeah, and he kept wanting to go faster. And then we eventually threw him off, and he was like a rock. He skimmed across the ground.
Yeah, he was bruised and sore after that. But yeah, so and then it carked it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I guess back to Maitland.
Yeah. Now we've finished talking about the jet ski.
We killed 2 jet skis in 3 weeks, and we've decided we're never buying a jet ski again unless we buy a brand new one.
I think they're the worst things to buy secondhand.
They are like
from our experiences, they're the worst thing to buy.
Don't buy a secondhand jet ski. Just save up and buy a newbie, maybe.
Yeah, it shouldn't be runs like a secondhand lawnmower. It should be runs like a secondhand jet ski.
And if boats are breakout another 1,000, I don't know what jet ski stands for, but it's breakout more than 1,000, that's for sure. So a long story short, we sold broken secondhand jet ski, the second jet ski as well. So now we jet ski less.
Yeah, I'm not buying another one.
Never having another jet ski ever again. Although they're super. Never say never.
Yeah.
But they were super fun.
Yeah.
it was a fun thing.
200 something horsepower is scary.
Yeah, it was fun while it lasted. Maitland, we have a great relationship with the caretaker at Maitland Showgrounds.
Yeah.
He's a top guy. Shout out to Maitland Showgrounds caretaking. They're fabulous. And every time we go back there, they take good care of us. We just ring up and say it's the pests in the blue and white bus.
Yeah, let us wash the bus last time.
Yeah, let us wash the bus on the grass.
And that what got me thinking about the jet ski was because we used the jet ski wash to wash the bus to get all the salt off it.
The salt wash to get the
so if there's one advantage from buying the jet ski, it is
we have a salt wash yearly to get the salt off the bus.
Yeah.
That's something.
Yeah.
And then we had 2 cars at the time because we were both running around for work in separate directions. So we had our Nissan Navara and we just had a little shit box. What was it? A Mazda Tribute.
Yeah, Mazda Tribute. Little 4-wheel drive.
What did you call it, Ali?
I don't know.
Something out of the Hunger Games to do a tribute anyway. Joanna. Yeah. It was Joanna the Tribute. And so the lovely guy at Maitland Showgrounds let us stash that there for a couple of weeks over Christmas. Was that not when it was?
No, it was already gone. You sold it at Stockton.
Oh, when did we leave it there? When I went back in October.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
anyway.
I came back on the train and got it.
Oh, there you go. Lucky someone remembers when we did things. It all kind of blurs together.
What else at Maitland? We get coffee at the Whistler.
We get coffee at the Whistler.
Yep.
And we watch the dogs.
Yep.
You've got to watch the dogs when you stay at Maitland Showgrounds. Yep. And I sometimes do the markets there with my photo stalls, which is nice on Sunday.
Yeah, if it's not windy.
If it's not windy.
I think it's only once a month.
Yeah, first Sunday of the month, I think it's market day there, so we always do that. And we did the night markets too. Yeah. They had like a food night market thing that we went to as well.
Yeah. And where did we have the good steaks at? The Imperial.
The Imperial Pub Hotel, probably.
They were
ribeye on the bone, like a tomahawk.
$50.
$50 each for a T-bone steak. Now, you might balk at that, but I tell you what, these steaks.
Fantastic.
Thumbs up to the chef because the steaks there, I mean, we treat ourselves probably once a week to those steaks, but they were
brilliant.
Very, very good. Very good steaks there. And then back to Tamworth, as I said, 2 weeks for the Christmas New Year break. It was a really good break, actually, because Tom's family from Cairns came down.
Yeah.
My sister from the Gympie area come down. Yeah. My parents come down from Queensland. My godparents come down from Queensland. Tom's family are in Tamworth. Yeah. So we actually managed to have like a Christmas New Year period where we saw all of our nearest and dearest.
Yeah, and it wasn't hot. It was a nice sort of
just mid-30s. It was lovely. And as always, we stay at Austin Tourist Park in Tamworth, and shout out to those guys for hosting our caravan park Christmas and letting us have about 30 people under the shade of their beautiful trees. And we played some cricket and went for a swim in the river. And it was a really good day.
Yeah,
ate a heap of seafood.
Yep. Shouldn't eat seafood that far from the coast, but whatever tickles your fancy.
It's Christmas in Australia. You've got to eat seafood.
No.
Tom doesn't eat seafood because it's
just salmon. The only good
salmon.
Seafood.
Yeah, he doesn't really eat seafood. It doesn't agree with him.
No.
And so while we were there, we took the jet ski out to Chaffee twice, and that was good. And then we went up to Nundle and done some fossicking.
Yep.
Nundle. No luck. That's the story.
It was beautiful up the top part. It was just that nice, bit high, nice and cool.
And Nundle's it's a lovely little hidden gem just out of Tamworth. It takes about half an hour to get there, and it's a lovely little village, little coffee shop. I think it's called The Machine. Yeah. It's like in a shipping container. And
no matter which way you come to town, you'll see it on the corner.
On the corner opposite the pub. And it does like fresh donuts made to order and coffees and hot chocolates. And then you can go up into the mountains from there and go fossicking.
Up to Hanging Rock.
To the big lookout.
Highly recommend going for a drive to
Sheba Dams and the big pine forest. And it's quite lovely up there. And on a hot day, like Tamworth gets to 45. So on a hot day, Nundle's always like 10 degrees cooler.
Yeah, not Nundle. Hanging Rock.
Well, up that way, when you go up the hill. So it's always a nice place to escape the heat in summer from Tamworth. So after our 2 weeks in Tamworth, I'm sure we've done lots of other things while we were there for 2 weeks, but it was mostly about hanging out with family.
Yeah.
That was the main
reason
to come back. we decided to go back to Cessnock Showgrounds for the night because Ali and I wanted to watch the Hunter Valley Garden New Year's / Christmas spectacular.
Yeah.
Ali should be here with me to have a chat about that. But it was really cool. Like, I mean, it's awesome with little kids, but it was great as an adult.
Yeah. Well, I didn't go, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Yep. So we had perfect timing while we were up there. So we were in the Ferris wheel when the fireworks went off, and that was, I think, was really cool. And Mum has some really cool photos from all of the LED lit Ferris wheel. I think it's something that people of all ages can enjoy.
Yeah, it was really good. Like, you'd think it's something just for kids, but we just had a blast. Like, we had some good food and we sat out on the grass and watched all the lights, and I think it was pretty good. Yeah. We had a good time. We got Tom back now. Ellie's just popped out from her little, I don't know, she's TikToking or something over there.
Slothing.
She stayed up really late last night working on her last ever school assessment, so I guess we'll let it slide that she's a bit lazy this morning.
Yeah.
You can.
Oh, I can let it slide. Yeah, and then so that was Cessnock, went to the Hunter Valley Garden Light Spectacular. I really enjoyed it. Ali really enjoyed it. Tom was a bar humbug. He doesn't do that kind of stuff, so he stayed home with the dog. And from there, we decided to go to Mount Nalinda, which is a hip camp in the Wadigan Forest.
Yep.
I don't know.
What can you say?
What can you say? You can't say anything nice.
It was
Don't
packed
say
when
anything.
we got in there.
It was very, very busy. And I was quoted $30 per night, but then charged $40 a night because we're a bus. And apparently that means we have to pay more, even though we're fully self-contained and probably use less facilities than anyone else.
Well, there was no facilities.
There was like 3 portaloos.
Yeah, that were chock-a-block.
And a bit yuck.
Yeah.
And a camp kitchen-y thing there, kind of like a half-finished shed with a sink in it.
Yeah, they hadn't finished it. Yeah.
But it was like a nice location, and we walked up to the top of the Nalinda Mountain and things, and that was quite nice. Yeah. There was lots of mozzies there, I remember. Yeah. But I guess we were just a bit sour at the fact that we got stung $10 extra because we're a bus, which I reckon is a bit rude, really.
Yeah. But we went for a drive out through the Wadigans from there, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. We drove out round through the Wadigan Forest, and the Wadigans were lovely. It was cool and misty rain and beautiful big trees. And there's some free camps up in there. I'd stay up there again, but it would be a bit tricky. It would have been a bit tricky with the bus. The road was a bit corrugated and things in spots, so we just done a day trip. But it would be lovely to camp up in the top of the forest in the camps there.
Yeah, I think so. We probably could have done it with the rooftop still on there.
Yeah. And then from Mount Nalinda, we moved to Fishing Point on Lake Macquarie, where we managed to score a park up with friends where we helped them with some renovations.
Yeah.
So that was great. We ended up staying at Fishing Point for 4 months, and it's a fabulous little community. Like, we got to go with all our neighbours. And
great spot.
Fishing.
Yeah, beautiful in the mornings with the sun coming up on the lake, just like
and
warm.
Calm and beautiful. It was just beautiful. We had a lovely, lovely 4 months there.
And you don't get that western sun because it all sort of sets over. It was a great spot. And
I paddleboarded and swam and snorkeled every morning and walked the dog. And it was just, that whole Lake Mac area is such a beautiful area. But again, there's not much in the way of...
No, heaps of people free camp down at the old Catalinas there. There was heaps of people down there.
And what was the other one called? Munya Bay, I think, further round, where we... there's got a pull in there. A lot of people seem to free camp there. Yeah. But again, Lake Mac doesn't have a lot of... No,
but there is round at Wangi.
Yeah, there's a caravan park at Wangi, and there was one at, was it Butterbar or...
I think there's a few around there, but a lot of them are full of permanents.
Yeah, it's hard to get in, and they're a little bit expensive, and there's no long stay option. I think even Morisset Showgrounds was only 14-day max. Yeah. So it's a little bit hard to sort of base yourself in that area for work. And if we hadn't been staying at a friend's, there's no way we could have managed to stay there for work anyway, affordably.
No, that's it. But I think if you don't, a lot of those places are a bit cheap, and if you don't move people on, they sort of settle, don't they? Like the other day when we came back through Scone.
Yeah.
And they're like a beautiful park there, going to do things for Scone, but just full of tents.
Tent city. Which I guess is a cost of living thing and a housing crisis thing, but it's not a good look for the town, and we'll go into that more when we get back to Scone. But while we were at Fishing Point, we continued on with air tasker work. Tom played cricket.
Yeah.
I continued to work a couple of air tasker jobs that were ongoing, which were good. Some house cleaning, some photography.
Yeah. Dealt with the traffic.
I dealt with the traffic driving through. Spears Point's the worst traffic. Ali picked up a job in a cafe there for a bit, which was good. Got her out of the bus.
At Toronto.
Yeah, so that was really good. And I guess Lake Mac Council we got to have a bit of a chat about.
Yeah.
Lake Mac is trying to be the greenest council in Australia. It means they only empty their general rubbish bin every second week. And when you live on the coast, that's pretty rank.
Yep.
It was like maggots all the time. It was gross. And they empty their recycling bin every week, but they
no, recycling second week, and they did a green bin every week.
A green bin every week, recycling one week, general waste the other. So if you're a family with like nappies and food or fish scraps or anything like that, it was so rank on bin day to walk down the street. It just make you sick. It was so gross. But that's like Mac trying to make everyone recycle and use less rubbish, but it just stinks. Like they also don't mow any of their parks and gardens on a very frequent
And then when they do it, they just leave. They do it with a big tractor and then just leave it.
All the grass around. So it's kind of always untidy. And it also gets the award for the grossest public amenities on whole in Australia so far to date. I didn't use one single public bathroom in all of like Mac where I went in and went, shit, they've done a good job cleaning this. I normally went, shit, it's all over the seat again. Like they're just gross. Like they're beautiful public parks along the lake and along the ocean and beautiful spots.
All the money spent along that Spears Point side.
And then none of them are mown, and you can't use any of the toilets because they're filthy and vandalised and just stinky and gross. Like, so it is a beautiful spot, but the council there probably, again, there's no caravan parking really. There's no long-term options. There's
a few back on the other side, like at Belmont and around there.
Yeah, Belmont and
like the one at Wanji. I think if you look, there's a few, but there's not much on the. Oh, there was one near Spears Point there.
Yeah, what was it? I can't think of what its name was. Anyway.
But maybe we didn't look because we weren't planning to live there. We didn't look that hard. We had somewhere to park.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're nearly at time after that big whinge about Lake Mac.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be a podcast if I didn't have a whinge about something, I guess.
No, that's right. Shout out to Lake Mac. Sponsor next episode if you want.
Sponsor Lake Mac, and we'll talk some nice things about you. Now, the lake itself is beautiful, and it was so clear, and I did love swimming and paddleboarding and fishing there every day. But the council needs to lift its game a little.
That's it. And coffee at Toronto is Cleaver.
Cleavers for coffee.
Candy didn't like it, but it's good coffee.
It was strong coffee. I like milky coffee. Tom likes strong coffee.
Yeah.
What else? Awanji Workers.
Yeah.
For dinner. We ate there a fair bit.
And with the Japanese restaurant in Toronto.
Mizumi, I think it was called. Japanese restaurant at Toronto. 5 stars. Ali's even giving a thumbs up from the background. It was really, really, really good. And the service there was good.
Yeah. Tiny little restaurant. About as big as our bus.
Yeah.
I reckon. And there'd be about 20 people in there. And as many people serving the meals.
Yeah. Mizumi, Japanese restaurant, Toronto. Probably the best eats we've had for a while, actually.
Yeah. Go and book yourself a table.
Go and book a table. Go and treat yourself. It's delicious.
It's equal to J-Bop.
Equal to J-Bop in Bowen?
Yeah.
Nah. I reckon Mizumi was better.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we could ramble about food and coffee for hours, but we're not going to keep you that long. That's the end of season 3, episode 5. Back again next week to wrap up our Hunter Valley summer. Yep. And then we're meandering west, maybe. Actually, we might throw in some episodes about Ali's schooling and
the favourite episode.
A favourite foods episode. We might just do a few little things and then we'll head on to our Western Queensland trip.
Yeah.
I think we'll just tidy up a few bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Right,
you need your mum to do the Western Queensland trip.
I should get her on the phone.
Bring down the whole show.
Get her on the phone and get her opinions on a few things.
Yeah.
We should do that.
Yeah, we could stir her up. There's plenty of swearing.
Tom loves staring at my mum. It's like his favourite activity of the day.
Yeah.
Rightio. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening. listening to us ramble on for another half an hour. Enjoy your Thursday. Catch you all again next week.